easy, why dumping on it?
Shalom and greetings to all the believers all over the world, those who are trusting with all their hearts, leaning not to their own understanding, those trusting the Most High through the grace and gift of Yeshua HaMashiach, the Messiah. You know, when we grow up, especially here in the United States of America, we are often exposed to Hollywood. A lot of times when I was growing up, it was Disney, things like Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon. But we have to understand that Hollywood is a den of witchcraft. And a lot of time, what we believe to be witchcraft, especially if you're born in the 80s or the 90s, you might think that witchcraft revolves around cauldrons, voodoo dolls, animal sacrifices, things that would be seen as very bizarre to the average citizen, in a country, if they had not grown up seeing that and being involved in that. But for the longest, there is a form of witchcraft that is being used to control the people of the United States of America. And that witchcraft has been through Hollywood. Hollywood, to program people and desensitize people to very real truths and future events. They do this to mock us, and they also do this to get it so deep in our subconscious, by the time we see it consciously, now we write it off as some type of entertainment, joke, or something that was meant for fun. Come along with me as we explore the Nano by Revelation. In 1999, there was a sci-fi action movie released upon the American populace called The Matrix. And this movie was very entertaining. I was actually a child when I saw this with my parents in our home. But even though it was an amazing movie, there's so much witchcraft in it that we missed as Americans. I mean, it went right over the adults' heads. But this is honestly before the internet started blowing up and people started beginning to get a hold of information the way we do today, so that we can decipher and have discernment upon the things that are before us and brought upon us by our government. In this scene in The Matrix, we first see all these cameras with Neo in the room. This is indicative of the society we live in and everything the whistleblowers have been trying to warn us about. People like Edward Snowden, Julian Assange, they're trying to warn us about how the government's been spying on us and watching us. And I want you to look at these three men that walked in. This number 3 has a very occultic meaning. In the book of Revelations, there's 3 6s, 666. And we see that number being broadcasted in our society today, and even hidden subliminally is being exposed by watchmen and prophets and believers continually. But that number 3, as it pertains to 666, that number has everything to do, as stated in the book of Revelations, everything to do with controlling people, tracking people, monitoring people, and controlling people in a way that does not allow them to buy or sell. A way that keeps them outside of society because they refused to have that. So that's what that number 3 is indicative of. And these 3 men in this section of this movie, that 666, that's what they're there to do. They're over there scrubbing him, investigating him, tracking him, talking about how they've been watching him. You see? We see this as suspense or some type of entertainment. But the thing is, they know everything about this guy. They're telling him his criminal history and all this stuff. Now, I want you to pay close attention to these glasses. This person wearing these glasses is a symbol of duality. And at this point in the movie clip, this person is attempting to come off human to Neo. He's trying to come off as, I don't know, in an empathizing way, like trying to relate to him and trying to, you know, have a human moment with him, saying, we can help you if you just do this and this, that. And the thing about it is, as soon as the Joker put those glasses on, and when he came in with those glasses on, he was completely demonic. And this system that we are being introduced to and ushered into in the United States of America is demonic. And that's why these whistleblowers have been trying to warn us. Now, something also in this clip we have to pay very close attention to is the introduction of the word terrorist. This guy, Mr. Smith, whatever his name is, this system, he introduces the word terrorist. Mind you, this is before the great 9/11 terrorist attack, what they call it. But that word terrorist is being used. Now look, he put them glasses on and he about to go evil on Neo, because Neo, not only does he reject the offer of their helper to turn anybody in, Neo rejects the system. And Neo also starts talking about rights. He said, I want a phone call. He said, I'll take my constitutional rights. When you start talking like that, this is what they're trying to do to you. By force. I want you to pay very close attention. Look at that. Close his mouth. We are living in a season and age where censorship is very real. And people are being canceled. They're being removed off certain internet networks and television networks. This is what we're living in the United States of America. It's very much like that in China, but it's going to get even worse, and that's what we see. Now, I want you to pay very close attention to what these people are about to do. That looks like a needle until it hyperextends when the man pushes the button. This, people, is what this video is all about. This is what the video is all about. That is a nanobot. And they were showing us in this Hollywood movie in 1999, they're going to put nanobots in people. Okay? Through the vulture. The vulture is what's being mandated right now. The vulture is what they've been pushing since the pandemic. And they're extremely, really pushing hard for it to be put in kids now. It's because the vulture contains nanobots, people. Is this the mark of the beast? No, but it is a prerequisite to the mark of the beast, and it will be for tracking. And right here, it's going to show you that those are for tracking. See, Neo wakes up back in the Matrix. They released him back in because they put that track, but not without that tracker. See, when you without that tracker, that system, those people, they come to kill you. And you can see that throughout the movie. They be chasing them folks down and they got them trackers and trying to kill them. Because they're terrorists. Terrorists, that's what he called them. And that's the language they're using today to label people depending on what their beliefs are. They're calling people who are pro-lifers terrorists. They're calling people who believe in the Constitution and the Second Amendment. They're calling them terrorists. I mean, where does this stop? It doesn't stop. The book of Revelation says it does not stop. And as they continue to close in on those who are rejecting, even those who are not believers in the Messiah, even those who are considered over-religious, anybody that they have placed on the so-called terrorist list because of their lifestyle and beliefs, they are closing in on them too. So if you pay attention to this part of the movie clip, they got Neo at gunpoint and they're basically telling him, you ain't coming with us because you got that tracker inside you. They're saying basically you will ruin our whole operation because of what them people put inside you. They know that he got that nanobot inside of him. And the thing about the vulture they're putting out today, we don't know how many nanobots are inside of that. We just don't know. And I'm very familiar with metal being in our food, meats and different stuff. I'm very familiar with that, but look at how hard they're pushing the vulture. They want everybody, even kids, pregnant women. They talk, I mean, these just, all the propaganda that's going on is crazy. But as you can see, Neo makes a decision to go the path that was set before him. And they're about to remove this nanobot. Now, I don't know if those things can be removed or not once you got them inside you. I don't know how that works. But yeah, but these things are definitely going to be used for tracking, and it could be more because they're not publicizing how people are getting sick and dying from taking these things. So only the Most High knows the extent of what these things are. You all have to see this. Now, I found this article just by Googling nanobots, and I want to point out some things in it that are very important. This was written November 20th, 2020. So last year. Here we are about to be in November, not too long from now, in 2021. We have to understand that what is taking place with this pandemic and even the subject and topics of this video have everything to do with UN agendas. We are in UN Agenda 21, where all the laws are changing, where the economics are changing, where there's crisis, and people come in with their solutions to so-called fix the crisis, but it's actually to rearrange society into what they would have it be. So, it says nanobots will be flowing through your body by 2030. Do you understand that the next agenda after Agenda 21, Most High help us, because we don't know what we're going to see, especially in the United States, because they got to finish breaking this thing down. You know, but the next UN agenda after UN Agenda 21 is UN Agenda 2030. But this thing says nanobots will be flowing through your body by 2030. See, now it's crazy because it says that, but then it tries to use passive language down at the bottom to try to cover that up. So here we go. In 10 years, nanobots in your blood might keep you from getting sick or even transmit your thoughts to a wireless cloud. See how they put that at the end? This is double speak. This is 1984 stuff we're dealing with, people. It's completely satanic and demonic. So they're saying that these nanobots will be as a good thing to help your health, right? Check this out. Nanobots injected into your bloodstream. That's how they put them in. Why do y'all think they're pushing this vulture so hard, people? Because they're putting nanobots in people. And they try to make it seem in other parts of this article that they try to make it seem like this is still being tested or yada, yada, yada. No, people. They doing this. And they already know how to try to cover it up. That's why you got so much censorship right now. Because people trying to speak on this. People trying to get this kind of information out. But I want to, let me see. There's one thing at this bottom I wanted you all to see. Talking about it'll take 10 years. Put out in 2020. Talking about take 2 years. They're talking about Agenda 2030. Hold on, there's one statement I'm looking for. There he is. It says, he is convinced that nanotechnology holds out the promise of someday merging humans and technology. I am trying to tell you, this is in the scriptures, people. This is iron merging with clay. The final empire, spoken about in the book of Daniel. The one world government, spoken about in the book of Revelations. The Most High did not make us with metal and all this stuff inside of us. Do not go for it, people. Do not go for it. Do not go for it. If he can take care of his people in the wilderness with the manna and with the water coming out of the rock and with the battles he gave to Israel in the wilderness, in those rough and hard times. He can do the same for his people today, if we believe. Prepare yourselves, prepare yourselves, prepare yourselves. Okay? We have to wake up. And there are going to be people around you who think you're crazy, stupid, and they're not going to understand you. Some of these people have already received the vulture. But that's all right. Hopefully eventually they'll wake up. And hopefully somebody can find a way to undo what has already been done. Because it is a problem. And hopefully in the next 2 years, we don't start seeing catastrophic events as a result of so many people taking these vultures. May the Most High bless you. Keep yourself and your families in his peace that passeth all understanding. Shalom, shalom, shalom. May Yah bless you.
It's easy, why? Something on it.